Hey everyone, it is the 31st of August 2023, and this is UX Research Call number 26. And the focus of this call is the Geyser Fund research sprint that we've been kicking off in the community. Nick, would you like to give a bit of an intro? Or, yeah.
Yeah. Hey everyone. Yes. An intro into me or the call.
Yeah, maybe the project as a
Yeah.
whole, and then because I guess there's might be some people here who are not familiar with it.
Sounds good. Right. So I approached Bitcoin design community as we are, very interested in really deepening our kind of research. Um, the user research that we have in terms of to both help us develop new insights that can help develop the Geyser product, as well as just learn more about what we can do to improve the user experience right now in terms of just usability. So met Mo, and together we decided to kind of try to start what could be a long-term process of research within Geyser. And we kicked it off by doing just a lot of heuristic review and usability testing. With received a lot of feedback from the team. And so actually, I'm just going to quickly share screen here so that everyone sees this document that we worked on together, which is the user feedback insights. And I think this is it. No, this is not it. It was the user issues document. And this was divided into the different pages. So the about page issues, landing page issues, project page issues, and profile page. And so we've been going through these one by one, and Awal has been building designs for them. So it's been really, really helpful. It's been really, really, even just the usability testing that you guys did, that Christoph did, helped us really improve them. So I can show you actually here some of the things that we've changed. So for example, we went from showing all the details of a project at the very top, which we had, to showing the details. Oh, it's not here. To showing details at the bottom of the page there. So you can see like some of the tags, the location, links, and even risks of a project in here. So we brought together all these insights and started really improving the improving the UI of Geyser. And for every Geyser project, and we're really now focused on doing that. On top of that, we have a plan to kind of really understand the whole end-to-end user journey that our users are going through. And so we're also working on these journey maps that I can also show. And that's where Pleb comes in, because she can help kind of add to to these issues that we've experienced. All of this has been coming out of the research, the interviews that I did. But this is the type of thing. The more you do, the more richness and data and insights you can come up with. So all this is really to help really inform the direction of Geyser. And I really believe that this research can help influence all the different layers of the user experience, from just usability to like new product insights, and that can lead to new features, and also eventually more strategic things around which how what is Geyser, what is Geyser to users, and how can we narrow our focus further to be that specific thing. Because it's easy to broaden out, it's harder to narrow in and focus on the one thing that users care about the most about your product. So yeah, hopefully this is a good broad enough overview, but I'll stop. And as I think the context right now is that, yeah, we're here to listen in from Pleb Poet, the research she's done, the insights she's uncovered, and curious to see how we might want to do that as well today. um,
Cool. Yeah, and question for you, Pleb Poet. Like, maybe you want to just give a bit of an introduction into what you did, and
Yeah.
also just share how it went, and any ideas you have on how we can process the research and, in a very direct way. So yeah, go ahead.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, so I am Pleb Poet, but that's my pseudonym. My name is Jana. I can go either one. You can call me. I jumped in on this project for the first phase and did some heuristic analysis with everybody. And then for this phase two, tried to get in front of users to interview them about how they use Geyser. I interviewed some new users who were just kind of seeing what Geyser had to offer for the first time. And I was also interviewing creators and users who manage projects on Geyser and raise funds on Geyser. So when we last met, we were kind of talking about how I can sharpen my whole interview process, which was very valuable information for me. What I should have asked you then is about approaching people and asking for interviews. Because I haven't been able to get as many as I would have liked, as big of a sample size as I would have liked. But nevertheless, I think I have about four, I don't know, ideas to present from the people that I talked to. And then I have been looking at, I don't know where this is at, the creator jobs to be done. Mick, you directed me to this on the Figma. Is that in the same FigJam that you were just showing us? Oh, your microphone's off.
Sorry, yes, it is there. It's just I think I might have moved it.
Okay.
But actually, I think actually what I did is that I turned that into I turned that into a Notion because I felt it was a little bit more, a little bit more organized there.
Okay.
But I'm happy to keep using that. What I'll do in any case is I'll share a screenshot of
Okay.
and happy to go through it if needed.
Because I've added a few things there. I haven't fully moved all of my insights there yet. So wherever you prefer them to be, I can start using that.
I'll, I can send the Notion link
Okay.
to the jobs to be done interviews. Google Docs.
Okay.
I've
Cool.
added in here. Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you want some discussion on what's come out of these interviews?
Yeah,
Just
definitely. So
bring that up. Okay.
I mean, just thank you so much, and whatever comes out, anything is super relevant and useful, and I think also just kind of be good to kind of go through these results already that I've had, and also hear your thoughts on it. What makes sense, what doesn't make sense, because sometimes you can just do it like if you just live in your head, you need that feedback, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So curious to hear how many people you've managed to speak to.
I've spoken to four.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Four
Amazing.
people.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So, yeah, really just one creator and then other just
That's
casual users. Yeah.
Amazing. Awesome. So how do you wanna go about it? Do you wanna use whatever document you've produced, or
I just have notes in front of me.
oh, perfect. Okay, that sounds
That's
good as well.
perfect. So did you take, like, was that your thing? Like, you just took your pen and paper, and then as you were chatting with these people, you had the questions, and then you took notes down?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I did the what you had suggested, which was to first make notes out of what you remember.
Yeah.
That was very helpful. That was very good. Good advice. So yeah, the way that I've kind of organized some suggestions and also some feedback. One very I know you're already very aware of this, so this is just kind of some discussion around this is interesting because it affects the people coming to fund on Geyser and people coming to get their projects funded on Geyser is the ability to cross post, or at least you discover the project on Twitter or Nostr, and that takes you to Geyser. Like that's very well documented in all of your journey maps. That like Twitter is a very important place for people to be seen before they ever come to Geyser, and that is also like reflected in everyone I spoke to. They were first exposed to projects from Twitter, from Nostr, where they saw, and then, hey, we have a Geyser Fund, you can help us out. It's sent through the link. So one person I talked to just kind of, what the creator I spoke to, was interesting to hear from a creator's side because they want to use that leverage of posting as many places as they can and then funneling everyone who's going to see that to Geyser. So one thing was like, do you know Mash? I don't know Mash very well, but it's a project that makes widgets, I believe.
Yes, I'm aware of them.
So yeah, there's like I'm familiar with the flow of you read an article and at the end there's a widget where you can zap the writer of the article. I wonder if there's a Geyser widget that can exist.
Yeah, absolutely. We keep on hearing this. It's definitely something
You do,
in
yeah.
our roadmap. But so this is the creator looking to have a widget a Geyser widget that he can have on his website, right?
Yeah, it's a creator who's interested in having as many places as possible for a channel to direct to the Geyser Fund. And so another thing is like the cross posting, or if there's going to be an update that he will post to Twitter, can that be populated as well in his Geyser Fund project profile so that the profile looks busy is the idea.
Yeah. So cross-posting on Twitter so that you can update your community on Twitter about your activity, right?
Yeah. It's the idea of like the profile, because you already have this as a feature that you add the story of your profile and you add the updates, and there's tiers of involvement that you win different rewards. Is it rewards? Is that what you call it?
That's
yes.
right. Yep.
Okay. Yes. So the idea was just to like kind of fill that in through other activity on other sites.
Yeah.
They would be linked.
Yeah. So that's definitely, that's kind of related to what I think I showed you last week, right? With Noster and things that we're doing around that. I think that would probably would that answer the idea that you can basically publish a post on Geyser and you can also broadcast it over to Twitter.
Right. Okay, cool.
And also another thing that you can do now is link your tweet on your project story.
So this does exist.
So yeah, we just released it yesterday.
Okay.
So it's
okay.
So that idea from the research was actually already developed because you had it in your product roadmap.
Yeah. So so the research of that I've been done has been leading me in a similar direction, but it's it's super valuable, super interesting to hear that. I mean, I'd love to know a little bit more color as to what problem were they trying to solve in that. I think I know, but we'll love to know your thoughts were on that.
Yeah. I'm trying to look back at exact words. Okay. So this was a creator who isn't necessarily like, it's not a project that has like a start and a finish, but is a publisher of articles, really a publisher of like consistent like weekly content. So the problem was being able to show the work of the content that he's creating meaningfully on his profile page.
Tata? Sorry. Right. I understand. So being able to, so he writes his articles and he wants to, but if they're articles or tweets?
Articles on his site.
Okay, so he wants his articles to be cross-posted.
Right. Or represented somehow on the profile. Maybe it's not just a link. Maybe it's because there's not really necessarily a story there about the updates are coming. It's just like, this is what I do. You can help me do it if you like to read this.
That's and does the person use Twitter or Nostr? Or both?
Both. Yeah, both.
Got it.
It feels like that posting within the profile would serve in two ways, because people looking to sponsor the project would be able to see that there's constant project activity, so that creates a sense of trust. And then from the other side, so that's him bringing someone into Geyser via Twitter or via social media. And then it's also for the, I guess, the person receiving the funding being like, look, I'm actually proof of work. I'm actually doing stuff. This is the update. This is what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool, because that's exactly the type of thing that Nostr makes possible.
Okay.
So you write an article on a Nostr website like Habla News, and then you with that same profile you create a project on Geyser, and the entries would, I guess, yeah, they would populate. Yeah, they would populate on your Geyser project without having written anything on Geyser. So yeah, that's the type of thing that
Very
we
cool.
are set up to do. And but this is great insights, and it's interesting. By the way, I've clicked on my profile and now I cannot look at everyone. How do I do that? Lost. Oh, there, toggle title view. Okay, great.
I just also wanted to touch on Danny, Owl, and Tedon. Are there any questions that are coming up from you guys? Are you enjoying this, or is there anything that you'd like to ask? I mean, I don't know if you guys are being a little bit silent, so I thought I'd just pull you in.
Yeah, so I think I think this is great. So maybe I would love to, maybe a way to structure this is, if you want to maybe start with like what are some of the key learnings you've learned, and then maybe what we can do is we can go through the different phases, right? Because I think you started beautifully by talking about where most users discover Geyser, and then maybe we can go through the different, if that's how you have it structured, if that works for you. That's sort of the structure of the interviews as
Right.
well.
Right. Uh, hmm. Well, let's go to this creator jobs to be done. So you have this. Is there any way that you can share your screen on that?
Sure.
I always have trouble sharing my screen.
All good, all good. So what would you like to look at, the this one, the interviews?
No,
Notion?
yeah, where you have the green and the red columns, how our solution works, how our solution does not work. And we were putting in the notes for each of those. I liked that one.
Let's look at that one sec here. Jobs to be done. This one here, right? No. I don't think this is.
Is it the user journey map that you're referring to, Gianna?
It comes from the Geyser Fund Figma
Oh, Figma, yeah.
jobs to be done
Should be this one then.
question mark.
Is it the journey?
Oh, I don't remember where this came from. Um,
This one.
Dummy has a workspace here. Christoph has a workspace. Mo has a workspace here. I think this was just a general
The
for
Figma,
everyone.
the general Figma. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to look for that one. 1 second. I think it's somewhere.
Sorry. I have it right here in front of me. I just never get the prompt to share my screen after I click it.
Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, it's a Figma. Oh damn. Because
Yeah,
it,
this
the stuff gets lost in so many channels.
I just saw it
Well,
on
yeah.
the last one you were on.
Oh yeah. Oh damn. Okay. It was research, and
You had
then
the link was there, the photo was there.
really okay. Oh god.
Where is that?
Is it this one?
Oh yeah, there it is. So this
Yeah,
green
but this
and
is just a
red.
screenshot.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, for the Figma, maybe you could send me the link.
Yes. I will do that.
Yeah, I can't find it.
Here
Wait,
is
maybe
the
this is it.
link.
Ah, there we go.
Ah, there.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Awesome. This is what
Okay.
you've done, right?
Yes, and I like this. Just very simple and easy to follow, easy to look at, very quickly.
Cool. And this is just
And
for the creators, though, right? Not the contributors.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
this is a creator jobs to be
that's
done. Yeah,
fine.
so we can. I could maybe duplicate it and
Yeah.
then add in my other ones.
Cool.
So yeah, this was. I think the only other person who had filled out anything here was you, Mick. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then I had added just a few things as well. Let's see. So we were talking about, okay, one other thing from a contributor or a creator was on the profile, while you're setting it up, to have insights that Geyser presents to you saying this is how you can get success with your project. This is how you can get your funds raised. I just saw recently from the Twitter account that you had tweeted about like these insights, like exactly what I'm talking about. So I don't know if there's like a static way they can like be presented as part of like the template while you're setting up your profile. That was something that came from this contributor I talked to, or sorry, this creator I talked to.
Was this
And he could,
Odell?
no,
Ah, okay.
someone who thinks very much like Odell, though.
Yeah, very much. Got it. Yeah.
Protect the privacy. Let's not forget that.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. That's so right. That's a really good point. So I think that would be probably on Get Insights, right?
Okay, yeah.
So it will be something like that here. Missing
Yeah.
project.
I had added something there at first, selling a perk. Thinking about, yeah, what types of things sell well as a perk or
Right.
reward. So if there's sort of like a template for these are the kinds of rewards that people get excited about. We know that because we see that across these projects. Then maybe that would be something to present.
To present to the creator that is successful. Interesting. So, sorry, is that what a user asked in terms of like giving examples of things to sell?
No, I put it in the framing of selling it, I think, just to add it here.
Yeah, and let's have a template to fill. You see.
Yeah.
Got it. Nice to have a template to fill. Yeah.
And then what else did I add over here? There's something. I put good things over here. I knew that. Not just the red ones. I also put the green ones. And I think that was just talking about the connectivity with Twitter and Nostr, which you are very aware of already. Yeah, the community involvement. Yeah, so
In
a
what
lot
way
of the
do you feel like there's community involvement? Did you get the sense?
So the people that I spoke to, now these were just the contributors, knowing of projects, getting excited about projects before they even see that there exists a Geyser Fund for them. So they are connected to the creators of these projects through other sites. This would be Twitter and Nostr, but mostly Twitter. So having like the personal connection to the person making the project before they ever see their Geyser Fund and that they're raising money. And then once they do, the excitement continues to contribute.
Right. But would you say that the getting community involved exists on Geyser? Probably not, right?
Yeah,
Probably more on
probably not.
Twitter, right? And that's also fine. But just to be specific here.
Yeah, one thing that maybe came up that would kind of be about fostering some of that involvement on Geyser was an idea from someone I spoke to. I don't know if this was the same creator. I don't remember who this was. Talking about the homepage where you're seeing the activity, you're seeing like a popular project. I don't know actually what the analytics are for showing up on the homepage. If it's just who has the most activity that day, or if it's who has raised the most funds.
Uh-huh. So okay. So what was the comment there? Was it
It was just like
not?
incentives about showing up on the popular page.
So it was more about them not understanding who shows up.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna add that in here since it's connected to this.
Sure.
So
This is good to see too about how you use the journey map.
how the trending. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna actually tackle this one, but I think Christoph had the same comments. Yeah. So all right. So that's great. So I feel like this is great, good insights, but I feel like we're jumping around quite a bit. How about we just focus on the creator to start with, and we could go through all of these, right? So
Okay.
launching a project from the creator that you spoke to, how was it? And you don't have to, basically from your gut, like you've done all this research, you've spoken to this user, and maybe
Yeah.
you don't have enough information, and that's fine as well. But what was your sense of how how easy was launching a project on Geyser?
Yeah. My sense was that it was quick.
Great.
And from that, I also gather that it's easy.
Perfect. Were there any issues involved with that?
Let's see. No.
Great. Perfect. That's yeah, I think this is the best thing what we're doing right now is just making it super easy. So I'm not surprised. That's great. Perfect. All right. So receiving contributions.
Yes. Okay. This person I talked to had not reached their goals.
Great.
But I also got the sense that they had not pursued their goal.
Why?
That's a good question. He spoke about just copying someone else who had done it and just setting it in his Twitter bio, and that's all. That's as far as he took it.
I see.
I'm not sure why. I didn't quite dig in.
Interesting. It copied someone who had done it, added their Geyser project to their Twitter bio, and kind of expecting for stuff to happen, right? Interesting, really interesting.
So I'm gonna jump in here with something that I think we could have maybe done it as a step before the call, but I guess we didn't have time to sync before. But it's actually definitely a good learning lesson. Is all the questions that Mick's asking to kind of first we talk about launch a project, then we talk about contributions, then we talk about seller per, is to take those scripts that Gianna has and basically just take one sentence about each of these things and just put it in that Google document from so it'd be a separate Google document. So you have your raw transcript at the moment and then just copy and paste you, Jenna, like very intuitively, like, okay, this one has to do with launch a project. Okay, this one has to do with launch. And then in that way, we could even populate this even quicker.
Right.
It's just, it's like, I find it so interesting because these are all the little learning things that we can take from this whole process. But this, what we're doing right now is also the same. But
Right.
if we run out
Yeah.
of time, then that might also be an in-between step that you could do as well to get Mick all the
Right.
information he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is your first time doing it, so it's totally understandable. But yeah, this can help you understand. Like in a research call, you kind of go, you know, into all these different areas, and then you kind of have to when you go to the research, you have to think like this. Okay, now let's now look at it not vertically like you do with a user across all these different. So this is a vertical, right? So this is a horizontal, and a vertical is just going through all of these step by step. Instead, what you do after in an analysis is you kind of look at it horizontally. So launch a project. What were all the different things that I learned that Geyser does well? What are the things that I learned that Geyser does not do well? So that way you can kind of really go in depth into each area.
Yeah. That's cool.
All right. So yeah, good point, Mo. There. Perfect. So that was an interesting point. And any so basically contributions didn't come. It seems.
Just naturally. Yeah. Without any attention on them. And it's also, I think, the type of creator that I was
Yeah.
speaking to.
We've also to mention like what area they were working in, what was the project about?
A publication, articles, publication.
Got it. Got it. All right. Interesting. Um, cool. All right. Anything else regarding contributions? Like,
It's
mhm.
oh, um, yeah. So just maybe like what's deeper about that feedback that he said about just setting it and forgetting about it was that he said he looks at what other projects do that are like what he does, which is the reason the whole push for getting his own Geyser project was because he saw someone similar to him had also started a Geyser project. So this was kind of like a collapsing, like the event of like, oh, I see they're doing it. I like what they're doing. I kind of do a similar thing. I'll copy them.
Yeah, that's goodness, I cannot. There. Okay. Seems like we're missing zero here, which is discovering about Geyser.
Oh yeah, that is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
So, well, this is not really that it works, but it's a kind of a step. So, discover Geyser from another similar sense.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool. So then they would launch a project. It would be easy to launch, but the problem comes in with just receiving contributions, maybe they send out a tweet, they they send out a tweet, they add their Geyser project link in their bio, and then
Mhm.
expect stuff to happen,
Mhm.
but funds not really coming in. And that is probably one of the most critical challenges.
Mhm.
And because like because it's consistent work. It's consistent work to, like, from what we've seen working, it's to be able to receive contributions from others. It's not about sending it once. It's about
Right.
like constantly having updates, keeping people engaged. And that is very hard work right now because Geyser is a closed system
Mhm.
where you have to keep sending people to Geyser. And it can also be tiring because if you ask people to change their, go somewhere, well, very few people are going to actually do that. And so few people are going to make donations. And so, that's something that we're tackling directly with the Nostr build, and with like the ability to broadcast activity on Twitter.
Right.
Um,
Cool.
but but it is a critical thing that we need to keep on improving. Sorry, you were about to say something.
Oh no, just
Yeah. Ooh, oh God, what did I do? Oh no. Oh my God. Sometimes I lost it. Okay. Okay. Here. By the way, I'm just gonna add it in here so that we don't lose it.
nice.
Cool.
So I
So
just
any
this yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Make
no, all good. Yeah.
This is very interesting for me because this that you're using here, which is you're taking the user story, and then you're taking the next step is this is how solution serves this user story. This is how solution could be better. I've never actually seen user interviews translated into this way before. So this is really interesting for me personally as a researcher, and I think it's just it's a little bit of an indication of when you do one type of UX research process, it doesn't mean that it directly translates only into, for example, a user journey map. It can also translate into other things. This is a really
Mhm.
good example. Um,
Right.
this is something we can definitely share in the research channel because I think that it's just framing the way that research can be used as well. It's really interesting. Yeah. So definitely learning from both of you in this
Cool.
Totally.
process.
Well, I have a question. I don't know if, how much time that we'll have for the rest of the day, so I wanted to ask. I'm going to go to Tab conference next week,
Nice.
and I would like to continue to have some conversations with people about if they use Geyser and how that's going, what's the experience for them, and then continue to add it just like we're doing here into this jobs to be done. What table? Yeah, this is a table. So, is there, yeah, is there like specific questions maybe to ask this specific audience? Keeping it quick, kind of less formal style.
Yeah. Uh, I think if there's questions, it probably comes out of the something missing from the research that we've accumulated so far. Maybe we can keep going, and see if there's gaps, and then try to address the gaps
Okay.
through these kind of more ad hoc questions. But yeah,
Okay.
that would be great. And I think
Okay.
you
Cool.
probably find a lot of it will be here at the discovery point, where just learning, like, have you heard about Geyser, and then
Okay.
how do you know Geyser, right? So that would basically already
Right.
answer this question, like how do creators learn about Geyser, right?
Right.
Because by saying, hey, do you know Geyser, how do you know Geyser, you already are answering this
Right.
in some way.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
And then you
And
can
then
say, have you ever used Geyser? Well, that already talks about either launching a project or sending a transaction. and I think you'll find that a lot of that is easy. Like we're doing really well in terms of discovering, launching, and maybe even retrieving contribution. The challenge is coming back and community involvement and all the stuff here.
Cool. Okay.
So yeah. Right. So all right. So we talked about launching a project. We saw that it was easy. I put here a 2 out of 3 because I think we can always improve. But yeah, it's we're doing pretty okay. Receiving contributions, we're doing okay. But there is a sign that some people don't receive contributions, and it's still to be discovered why exactly. And we also cannot say that every person, every project, not receiving a contribution is our problem. It could also be that the project is a bad project that nobody cares about, and there's not much we can do about that. But it is a
Yep.
problem if a project is actually worthwhile. And we need to address it as a platform that, okay, if there's a really good project and it's not getting funding, well, why not? There's something happening here. And so that's definitely, maybe you can add that here as a why are some projects not getting funded? Ask that as a question. Or how can we say, why are some projects receiving little contributions? All right. So selling perks, did the person have any perks?
No.
Okay. So we can't really answer that. And then recognizing funders. Not sure if that was something that came up at all.
No, because they didn't have very many, and yeah, I don't think that they were interested in. Because yeah, that's a question. The recognizing a funder would be something that the creator would do, or would be something that Geyser would do.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely right. It's something Geyser does, but did they get the feeling that contributors felt recognized? Because that's one of the key thesis on Geyser, is that if you go to a Geyser project, you can see who's funded,
Right.
and by seeing who's funded, you can feel more of a closeness to them. As a creator, you can be like, oh wow, great. And we've heard that some creators actually reach out to the funders and say, hey, thank you so much. And kind of Geyser helps in that process of feeling the contributor feel recognized. It'll come up more with the contributor, but I'm curious
Yeah.
if it had.
Yeah.
So here I saw yeah, so sometimes like the creator said, yeah, I saw that, saw the profile feel funded, so I reached out by DMs. But that's a sign to me that, okay, maybe DMing would make it easier for the creators to reach out to the contributors. Or there's no project badges to feel part of, right? So actually we're not recognizing the contributor enough, because we're not actually giving them project badges, for example, to
Okay.
make that even further.
Okay. Yeah, that's a cool idea.
So for example, Patreon, what they do is that they create exclusivity, right? So they create exclusive spaces. That's a way to recognize, because you're saying, okay, only if you've paid, you have access to this exclusive space. And so that is a way of recognizing the user in some way.
Yeah, I sort of have a story about this myself. I had contributed to this person's I interviewed. I contributed to his project, months ago, and at that time, I don't know if this is still something you can do, but at that time, you could contribute anonymously. You probably still have that feature.
Yeah.
So that's what I used. just because I don't know, I wasn't a big deal. It wasn't a big contribution, and I just thought I'd be a little sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
But I told him after we talked, I said, I don't know if you see this little anonymous bubble here on your contributors. That was me. And he was like, "Oh, no way!" He
That's
was
cool.
excited.
That is a cool story. Yeah.
So, guys, since we only have like about 8 minutes left, and I know we're definitely not going to make it through all of these different ones, what do you guys see as being like the next step in terms of finishing this part of the sprint, um, and
Yeah.
getting that
Yeah,
information from Jenna's research into this document that we're now filling in together?
yeah, I'd definitely like to keep filling this document out, just like we're doing it now, and seeing and going through it with you definitely helps me and
Yeah.
makes more of a clear idea for me. And so, yeah, I'd also like to keep talking to people and just making this right here just very full of all kinds of insights for the creators and for the contributors. I think that's what you just added at the bottom, right? The contributor
Yeah.
jobs to be done. Yeah.
Right.
Jen, I'm trying to think out loud in terms of what could help you to get that in here as quick as possible, because I know personally processing research is the other half and it takes so much of
Mm-hmm.
time. um, so do you think it's possible, like you have this raw transcript in front of you, do you
Mm-hmm.
think it's possible to, like, if you look at points 1 to 8, would you be able to recognize those like points and then highlight them in the actual raw transcript, or is it
Mm.
like, would it be possible to do that, or you think it's like it's a little bit too all over the place?
No, I think that would be possible. Yeah, I would. I have a Google document where I have um, notes on the transcripts, so it's not totally raw, but basically one step up from being raw transcript. Yeah, I could kind of use highlighting from Google Docs and maybe even add that in our Discord, kind of show people where I went from one step to the next.
You
Would that
could
be useful?
also, yeah, absolutely, you could also do this, because I'm a really visual person and I don't know if Google Docs has enough colors, but
Oh
so
yeah.
Geyser Fund has, sorry, they're like celebrating something here. User Fund has this like, so you have these 8 steps, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you could have 7 different colors, and you can say
Okay.
color green is fund project, yellow is recognize my contribution, blue is purchase a reward, and then you put these blue highlights on all those points.
Okay.
And when you're copy and pasting it over into this document over here, you'll move like super fast, because it'll just be
Okay.
like, oh, I'm looking for all the blues, and then you move it over like, oh, I'm looking for all the
Yeah.
blues. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
So that'll get Mick all of his information in from the raw transcripts, and it'll save you a whole bunch of time as well.
Okay. Yeah, I like that idea.
I hope that helps. I mean, it's and thank you also. I know Mick also said thank you, but thank you also for taking the time to do this. I know that we're all
Yeah.
learning as we're going along, and it's super helpful what you're doing. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the learning part has been a blast for me. I'm enjoying it.
That's
It's a
awesome
good
to hear.
project.
So
It's a
next
good project
steps,
to get involved.
it's super
Cool.
nice. A lot of people here at the conference know about Geyser Fund as well. So you mentioned the name and then they're celebrating. Sorry, guys.
Yay, that's awesome to hear.
Okay, but yeah, next steps. Maybe we can, share in the research channel. I don't know, Jenna, if you want to share what you did.
Yeah.
Share maybe a link to this jobs to be done, script that we've sort of the
Yeah.
way that we're bucketing it, um, and
Yeah.
yeah, then we can think about next steps as well, in the project. I don't know, how does that feel for you guys?
Yeah, sounds great. Yeah, I think filling in this would be great. Filling in this would be great, and then
And
we can come
what's
together. And also once we do that, it might be helpful to see the yeah, I think basically kind of compare this with
mm-hmm.
this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's missing here?
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
And question for Mick, how easy will it be? So this jobs to be done table that we have, how easy is it going to be for you to translate the information from this directly into product UI improvements? Is that
Yeah.
quite easily translatable?
So, uh, so yes, actually, what I've done is I already have this table that we're working on, and I don't know if incorrectly, but I'm calling it jobs to be done because for a creator, you want it to be easy to fund a project, right? And I have here basically how our solution works, our solution doesn't work, and then I look at the competition or other services out there and see how are they doing it, and then I have linked features that are in our roadmap that actually here are linked to a particular score in terms of their ability to solve
Wow.
problems. So I actually worked on this in the last few weeks, and it's very cool because then I can say just earlier today I said, okay, easy. It's I was like, oh, guys, it's easy to fund a project, but then I discovered that some people are saying that they want to fund with just a click, and on Geyser it takes 10 seconds to fund a project, but it's not one click. And so I thought, okay, what if we could actually enable users to do a one-click donation on the Geyser project, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so if you go here, then you have the actual feature and also all sorts of descriptions, um, and like kind of some examples of what's possible, say
Stacker
on
News.
Stacker News, yeah, where it's just a click, right? Um,
Yeah.
Obviously, on Guys is different because on Geyser we don't have a wallet, like we don't custody any funds like Stacker News, so we'd have to find other ways of doing it. But and
It's
also
exciting.
and also yeah, so for us it wasn't really a priority because we feel Slacker News is like, okay, you do a click donation and it's like worth 1 cent or like nothing. And so
Mm-hmm.
for us, we did want to feel like it was more conscious and deliberate, and that's been
Mm-hmm.
good because it leads to much more funding happening on Geyser than Stacker News.
True.
That said, why not? Why not make it even giving that option to make it even easier to zap quickly?
Cool.
So yeah, so yeah, that's sort of how we do it. And
Incredible, just incredible. Taking all my hats off over here. This is just mind bog. This is how
Yeah,
he
it's really cool.
the features and that roll up. Those last two ones are really really interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's
yeah, I
cool.
guess we wrap it up. We're on the hour. I think Jesse's gonna kick me out in terms of my recording.
Yeah.
But next steps. I don't know, Jenna, if you feel like sharing in the research channel about the call we
Yeah.
had, about the jobs to be done thing, and then we can think
Sure.
about what we'd like to do in terms of next steps. And
Yeah. What's phase 3? Oh, you cut out.
I'm here.
I think Mo was talking, but I didn't hear you saying anything anymore.
Right, right.
Oh, she's gone again. Mo, what were you saying?
saying that we can discuss then in the research channel, after you share this an update about this, we can then discuss what we think would be the next
Okay.
steps in
Okay.
terms of a next call or in terms of consolidation or what we feel would be the next logical step in this whole process. How can it all come together in the best way? I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Look forward to it.
How does that feel
Be
for
in the
you?
Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great. Perfect.
Yeah, but
Amazing.
thank you everyone for joining. For you also, Awal and Dami and Sedan.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Great.
I
Good stuff,
will.
guys. And yeah, yeah, do let me know whenever you're ready. I'm happy to hop on another call whenever you want, next week or the one after.
Same. It feels like that might be the next step, and we need to think about like what's the most useful thing to discuss in that next call, in
Yeah.
terms of like kind of consolidating everything together in the most logical way. So maybe we can all brainstorm on what's the most logical way of consolidating all of the research, and then actually doing that or discussing that or doing something like that in the next call. Feels like might be the most logical next step. I don't know. I don't know. We can brainstorm on that.
Would it be worth scheduling it, or should we wait until we've decided?
No, I mean, we can schedule it. I mean, it's essentially consolidation. So we can, in the research channel, just try to think about, we can set a date and a time that agrees with all of us, and then we can think about consolidation prior to the call, and then have the call focused on consolidation. Does that feel
Sounds
like
good.
it makes sense?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it
I get it.
does.
And
I
I'm
think, yeah, that sounds good. I think honestly, if you produce this table, if you kind of produce all your insights, I could probably then translate it into the Notion table you saw and the journey map,
Okay.
and then basically then through that, maybe I'll send you again the I think the journey map, and then you can take a look, and maybe we could even do it async and then meet in 2 weeks, I guess,
Okay.
if that sounds good with you.
Yeah, I'd love to take a deeper look at that journey map. That looks very interesting.
Me too.
Yeah,
I also want to look at that journey map. So I think 2 weeks sounds very reasonable. I think that's a good time frame, Mick. If it feels good for you as well, Jenna.
Yes.
okay, awesome.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Let's jam on Discord, agree on a date that feels good, and I'll set up the next call.
Amazing.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you all, guys. Thanks
Bye,
again,
everyone.
Bud Poet. Thanks,
Have
Mo.
a great
Bye,
day.
guys.